It has been a chaotic start here for day 3 of ESL One Cologne. We've seen Astralis and Dignitas, both Danish rivals who have, well, let's say, gotten off to a bit of a weird one for us here at the desk. We do see Mirage go the way of Astralis. Cobblestone in overtime goes the way of Dignitas. And let's not forget Astralis are limping, losing Dupree and, of course, for having Glaive in the space of Kirby. It's been a weird ride, and now it's going to end on Cash. A clash on Cash, and you guys are going to enable me to talk a little bit about this one. It's going to have to be short, it's going to have to be concise. But let's try and understand a little bit as to where this one goes. Yeah, because this has been so weird that we're going to have to forget about the previous 2 maps. Everything rides on this one map to get to the playoffs. I mean, how can you summarize this map, Duncan? It's not easy to predict.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, off the top of my head, I think this was actually the map at Malmo that Dignitas was able to beat Astralis on, if I remember correctly. But obviously, that doesn't mean a whole lot, bearing in mind that was Dignitas when they had Kirby, and that was Astralis when they had 2 different players. So can't really take too much from that. It's been a map that historically for the Astralis guys, I've actually always thought it's weird that they kind of went out of their map pool, because I know specifically Dignitas, Zipnix has always been a very good player on this map actually, especially on CT side. Very good player over at the A site. Device I've always thought's had a decent amount of success on it, but it will certainly be interesting to see what are they going to do with like Zonic, for example. Yeah. I mean, if Glaive's going to play Kirby spots, obviously he's played Cash before, but that's the question for me on all these maps is, what do they do with Zonic? I think there's no obvious answer, you know.
Absolutely not. Yanko, I understand it's impossible to predict, would you suggest? But what are the kind of the factors that could lean it to one or the other team?
I think that the biggest factor is that Dignitas felt that they were the stronger team on Mirage, especially, I believe, and I think they thought that they should have closed it out there. Now the pressure is on them, basically, because the Astralis is playing with 2 standards. They finally have a good chance to get to that legend spot, but I think that they're going to crumble under that pressure and that the Astralis is going to power through.
Damn, Astralis making it to playoffs with Zonic.
Well, that win at Malmo as well was Dignitas' only win on Cash in the last 5 games that they've had. I think it's the only win they've had on it all year in tournament play in terms of LAN. So that's kind of scary as well. And I picked them to win the series initially, but like you have to look at this as almost say the star power. You have to go with Astralis just because the strength of guys like Device, Kerrigan's having an amazing series, Zipnix as well. These are the most experienced guys in the server, and you almost have to imagine they're going to pull it out for their team.
It's going to be a rough ride, there's no doubt about it. It's actually time for us to start. It is going to be Cash. The final map between these 2 teams, Dignitas and Astralis, are ready and waiting in the server. It's either Dignitas, who couldn't even get out to the qualifier previously at the previous major. Now they've managed to do 1 step better. They're in the groups, but will they get out of them? Astralis stand in their way, and this is Astralis with both Glaive and Zonic. That's right, their coach has got the mouse and keyboard in front of him, and we're ready to see how he does over on Cash. Enjoy this one, Henry G and Sadakist.
He makes it sound like he just wants us to enjoy it, not everyone else.
We're going to enjoy it, I think.
We are going to enjoy it, and everyone else will as well. Interesting thing to note, just quickly, look, there's a whole storyline. We've talked about it. You've all been watching. Yes, Dignitas against stand-ins are struggling and going into map 3. Yeah. But let's just look at this. Glaive, okay, Zonic aside, he's playing he's doing what he has to do, but Glaive coming in has adapted very well. Yeah. You've got guys like Valda coming up in the scene, Magisk Boy right now, who's teamless. There's rumors as to where he's going. We often talk about the depth of the Swedish scene. The Danish scene has got some skill in it as well, and it'd be interesting to see what other lineups could come from this, if there is changes made again, perhaps, to Dignitas, to Astralis, to anyone, really.
Yeah, the ex-SK guys, obviously in turmoil right now, no one really knows what's going on there. They are trying to rebuild and see what they can do here, but regardless, we'll get back into this one. The Danish derby is about to hit the 3rd map. It's going to be Astralis starting on the CT side here on Cash. We'll have a look at the Dignitas buy. I think they actually got a Tech-9 here. It's not going to be the raid boss. It'll be MSL, Tech-9, and Smoke Grenade. 4 sets of armor surrounding him. So this will be quite a basic execution. Normally, this suggests you're not going to go towards the A side. You want to have flashbangs here. That'll be straight towards B, smoking CT spawn, and bundling towards that bomb site. Looks like exactly what will be happening here. So straight towards that, maybe wait for an initial rush, or whether this goes straight in, who knows?
Decent read, though. 3 players stacked up. They know this. They play the retake game on A. It's not uncommon. Astralis have position. Device hits a headshot when they cross over. Glaive got 1. Zonic may have gone down, but it's 2 kills to the 1 so far of Dignitas. But good smokes off is going to segregate the CTs, and it allows Tensky to cross over. He gets 1 kill. MSL has bomb. They might still be down a man, as we say, but that bomb acts as an extra, if you will, because now it's up to the CTs to work in that direction. Interesting play coming in from Glaive, 9 HP. He's going to go late through these vents, but he has to blow them out. That gives away his positioning. He's just trying to keep the aggro here. It'll give Zipix a chance to try and walk in. Kerrigan's already locking down backside with Heaven, so it's all about covering angles to probe it for information. And there it is. Good entrance from Kerrigan. Times it well. MSL goes down. Tensky versus 2. Watch Zipix because he's got 11. The kit's on Kerrigan. He's the one that has to hold it, which means Zipix, oh, lovely stuff! Has to go for the hold on the defuse. Kerrigan, it's just the wrong person with the kit, and it cost them so much.
Against all odds there, the full diffuser coming in, it looked like that was tied up. The Glock at that sort of range for a smoke, trying to find a diffuser as well, that's a really hard task, and he nails it. First bullet, takes the head off the final player. And it looked like Astralis had played that perfectly. Glaive, like I said, 9 HP in the vents area. He didn't actually have to do anything. He played it so perfectly. Holding the vents area, taking the aggro away, allowed Kerrigan to come through checkers while they were so focused on that area. It looked like that was it. 3 versus 1 on one stage, and then comes in Tensky, pulls it off. Lovely, lovely stuff. As you said, it's going to be Astralis now. Not on the force buy here, just with Glaive on the scout this time, not Zipex, and Device with a Deagle and armor. Very deadly with that weapon indeed, and Cash is certainly one of the maps you can make it sing. It's got lots of tight angles with headshots available, so we'll see what he decides to do this round. It'll be towards A for now, and Glaive going a bit aggressive towards B storage. Surely the full default here. You can see Dignitas, they like to hedge their bets with the rifles in the center. They don't go into it with the SMGs. They want to keep things nice and long range. 4 rifles, 1 SMG in the hands of Config. But there is a little bit of an A stack from the CTs here, so this could get a little bit interesting. We'll see how this pans out. The smoke goes in towards highway. Flash is coming as well. This will be the chance to get towards the side.
Smoke entrance. Zonic on box. Config will find Zipix. Kerrigan stuck against the wall back by Truck. He's exposed as well, so Config finds him. But Device gets a collateral with the Deagle. Lovely stuff to find too. MSL's gonna find him and Zonic immediately after though, so really, as pretty as that is, it's gonna be the round to Dignitas. Bomb going down. Tight plant default. Slightly open. Doesn't mean aiming can be held in the post, but Glaive just trying to rotate around, catch them off, save this scout into the next round, but also at T-spawn could potentially do economic damage when they look to escape the site.
Yeah, just try and hold on to the scout, see what we can do next round. And at this point, you can see he's right in towards T-spawn, not going to be going aggressively on towards those containers. He will see if he can just get 1 kill. If he gets 1 down, it's very unlikely a player will be with the remaining CT. The problem is right now, he probably will have to hit the headshot. But it doesn't look like anyone will be hunting him for now. So he will take that scout the next round. It can be quite a deadly weapon on Cash. Towards that A bomb site, lots of jumping potential there. And B bomb site has some interesting opportunities as well. But pretty clean round there for Dignitas. It was the collateral from Device, like you said, that Desert Eagle. He was the one that heavily invested into that round and paid off his debts, really. It's $600 back, so he kind of balances things out with his kill on the pistol as well. He's up to Glaive this time. 5 rifles now for Dignitas. Should be almost guaranteed round at this stage unless Glaive goes absolutely sick of this weapon. I guess he'll take it towards middle. He watches the boost spot. That's the best chance he got for a headshot there. A lot of T's will just go for the face at the start, just expose the top of their head. Opting to go towards B.
First time that we've had an opening pistol not get ecoed. Both of the previous games, the team that won both pistols lost the map. So a broken trend, but one that could continue. We'll see which win ends up being a similar story. Cajun B waiting for Flash to come through potentially, staring at the wall. Set piece as well with Config, also watching the angle when they push in. So they've got the trade, the cross setup. Tensky waiting for a push at Squeaky. They're just counting on Astralis to try and do something creative with these pistols.
They've spotted the scout is now towards that B side. You'll see them quickly rotate surely back towards A and execute there. But you can see Astralis are reading that quite well. They are turtling up on that A bomb site. Thank you for bringing up the map. That's perfect. You can see Zivex, Zonic, and Device there, hoping that funnel works in their favor. But actually, you know what? It's going to be Dignitas going for a bit of a double bluff here. You'd assume they'd go to A after spotting the only remaining weapon towards that B side, but they want to challenge it. They want to probably smoke off the entrance towards the B site here, take him out of the situation, force him towards the back of the site. And it's going to be Rubino to go first. They walk around it. It's a little bit interesting, but the Flash will come in to give them a bit more to work with, and that should be Glaive going down at this point.
Taken out by Cajun B. Rubino, Molotov off. Double check to make sure no one does walk out behind the flames as he checks vents as well. Molotov on Heaven. Kerrigan slipped through the smoke, though. Kerrigan's inside the site. Nearly takes down the bomb planter, but MSL spots him in time, and Cajun B is able to react. Stay alive, bomb will be planted. 3 players trying to come back through, but smokes out. Good execution. Molotov already was used on Heaven, but it won't matter. There's no kits, there's no armor at this point. Just try and take guns out of the hands of Dignitas.
Yes, indeed. P250s. Not really worth saving those, to be honest. Saving in this deadly economy of the terrorist valley is no chance of winning the round, but this certainly helps. Device gets a kill on towards MSL. He was low already. So now Cajun, oh sorry, it was Cajun that was low, but MSL defended him. So still a chance to get Cajun as well. They can make them die with the bomb as well, that's great. Cajun's not going to be exiting so far, but this is what the CDs are trying to do, is lock him in and get the kill as well. So they find 2 for this. That's something to talk about, I guess. as Config trying to finish him off. He should survive as well, just getting out in time. And Zipex, Scout, just trying to get one more for his money. He knew he was going to die. There's going to be one shot in the back as they're exiting. Wasn't meant to be there, and it will be 3-0 in favor of Dig now. Money's okay. They didn't force buy fully into the second round, Astralis, so they have the AWP on towards Carrigan, of course. Like I said before, I think he's been the MVP of this series so far in terms of how consistent he's been in finding those first picks and getting multiple frags each round.
Interesting note to make. Now, obviously, this comes with an asterisk if it were to happen, considering the situation with Astralis. But if Dignitas are to close out this series and advance to the legend status, it would be the first time in major history that the two challenging teams were able to take down the two legends teams in one group, with CLG already going down and Gambit already qualifying. So, again, asterisks beside it. The fact it should be mentioned.
Yeah, Gambit have done tremendously well this tournament. That is an amazing stat, actually, but needless to say, it will be an A-sided attack here from Dig. You can see all 5 players. First gun round, always a little bit difficult for the CT, so we have a set piece, and they make their way to the site.
Smokes to cover off quad, one in front of the fork. A third one is when they get inside of the site, they can't enter back in toward MSL, who has bomb. It's Glaive that wants desperately to do so, but he's found by Cajun B walking through. And Config, just waiting for an opportunity, does spot Zonic at Z Connector. And already Astralis, they're bugging out and going home. They're going to try and save the AWP. Device and Zonic, the kit, nades and M4s.
Yeah, Zipex, known for playing that A site, he's always very good at getting a couple of kills, like we always mention when he's anchoring those sort of areas, but this time, overwhelmed by the utility of Dignitas. They didn't really run a default start, straight towards that A site, waited about 20 seconds for the smoke to dissipate. Smoke's going in towards highway, towards quad, Molotovs towards forklift, and they're going out together, and they managed to exchange very nice indeed. Didn't even drop a single player there, so at that point, it's more than justified the CTs have to save. That retake with only one kit and an AWP as well, it's not really going to be realistic. Still very early days, you don't need to take these kind of risks. So keep on to your 3 weapons. You can see them kind of holding up together towards B. Terrorists don't really know where they lie. When they know they've got the weapons as well, it's not worth trying to find those frags. So it's going to be 4-0 in favor of Dignitas. Astralis saving 3 weapons definitely can balance things out, dropping a couple of Famises over, trying to get some more utility on their side, but it's going to be Zipex feeling the burn the most. We'll see what he does get offered. Gets an M4, in fact, so it's not as bad as I may have thought. It's going to be Glaive with the Famis, Zipex with the M4A4, and there it is. That's the compromise. Zonic, like we said, he's just to be chucked in positions just to try and get 1 kill. So if he can get nice and close to that max 7, just get 1 surprise kill, that's enough. They don't need him to do the flashy, crazy aim star stuff. Just hide in the smoke, hide around the corner. Even if you're blind, left click, hope for the best.
I think they're going to look to boost up Glaive out of this. Zonic's going to be the one to do it for him. Is he going to go? They look to go for it. Zonic got himself in a position, but then Glaive elected to go to Cubby instead. They don't want to go over. Instead, they'll watch on B with all these smokes coming in. Reverse boost back for MSL, and Glaive hears it. That could have been so clever to catch out mid and then allow them to walk over. It still does pay off with Config finding 2. So a double boost up to do so.
That's actually pretty smart. It's quite rare to get double boost up. Like you said, once you kill that player in vent, you think that's it. It's very uncommon to see Config joining Cajun B up there as well, but it does work out, and they managed to get the 3-on-3 here. CT's still struggling.
It's a very clever play to do that. It's not something you see commonly, so this shows that Dignitas have a plan.
Like, it almost works in their favor that he drops, because they just assume that risk is eradicated at that point. So 3-on-3 certainly favors the T's, and it's going to be a B-sided attack here. Config's in the checker rooms, waiting for his teammates to catch up from B storage. Smoke towards spawn, and they're trying to isolate Device here, but he's ready. He can feel it coming. That smoke, oh, this could work out very nicely for Device.
Device does spot just enough on Tensky. He gets dropped in the end by Config. Zipex 1 HP. So close to being taken down. That flash catches both. Config can't find him. He's on 11 himself, and Zipex could nearly catch him going back in the site. Can't do it. Smoke still just enough to cover the conceal of Config going back toward the platform. Kerrigan found, and this is desperate. 1 HP. There's not a chance.
Yeah, save again.
Zipex, yep.
That was a bold play, though, from Config. Pushing through the city spawn with 11 HP. Had he gone down there, he didn't really know what's the other side. They had a flash, and that's good damage, but not going to be enough to get him into this round. So Rubino does take a headshot through the wall, but Zipex finding the AWP, at least that's something to take to the next round, but Dignitas playing that very nicely. I like that play towards the vents. They smoke off the entrance of the B bomb site, boost 2 up. You see the CTs were aware of it. Like you said, Glaive heard it, he had the call, but you don't expect 2 to be there. That's kind of insane, and works out very well indeed. Get those first 2 picks, get the control of the checkers area as well as Device. He had an opportunity with that smoke down in front of the bomb site. I thought he was going to get 1 or 2 there, only gets 1. It's not quite enough to win in the round, but they save the AWP. And with the maximum loss bonus now, $3,400 coming in, I think they probably could justify a buy here by the looks of things. See what they decide to do. It would be Famis's going hand in hand with the AWP, but it looks like they're going for the conservative route here, which I don't really mind. It looks like they're looking for the bigger picture here. They want to make sure they can actually have a chance going forward of having full utility. They don't want to keep limiting themselves every single round. If they were to lose it, would be really detrimental. But Carrigan has the AWP, and he's one of those players that if he finds a pick towards B, he can reposition himself. He knows how the game works. And he'll be towards B storage right now, trying to use that gap in the smoke and seeing if there's anything available for him.
Glaive gonna rotate back around a highway. Zipix close. Device behind him inside the A site, close to the smoke that is for Zipix. Flash in, no one there. Cage not able to spot him as he just hugged to the left to avoid the flash. By far the best start for Dignitas in this series.
Oh, absolutely. Looking at it to be 6-0 as well, but being very tentative right now. Full default. They know an AWP has been saved or a weapon. They're assuming it's the AWP that was dropped. So they're doing the full default, see if anyone will fire a shot and just give some sort of signal as to where that weapon is. Cajun B will be boosting up config. It looks like he's going to look for that first kill towards middle. No one there for now, so once they gain mid control, I can boost 2 people up, in fact, with Cajun. So let's see how this works out. Potential A split. Bomb still down towards T-spawn. Once they gain mid control, that will give them a few more options. But time is ticking away now. They need to be a little bit more decisive, using everything they've got to gain middle. And I think this will be the B split at this point, considering they've completely got middle, locked it off. Players in B storage as well. That's surely going to be the play at this point, but changing their mind once again by the looks of things.
He who hesitates loses, but in this case, they still have the weapons. Tensky finding Zipix on entry 2 behind the smoke, walking through. Glaive does get one. They're both still alive in this, and Glaive is an AK. It's getting confusing. He gets a little bit panicked as he bumps into one in the smoke and tries to spray through, but still alive. This is so sloppy, but Glaive, he's dropped the AWP. He's got an AK to work with. MSL's low. And they're getting closer to the site. Kerrigan has armor, has the op. Watch for the boost, though. Are they going to go fully for it? Up above, Kerrigan sees it, nails it as well. And there is a kick. Kerrigan! Oh, they've done it! What are those 2 shots? And Glaive, somehow he's Houdini. He's gone through smokes on Cobble, he's gone through smokes on Mirage, and he goes through a smoke awkwardly in this one, and it works.
Terrorists boosting up towards quad. Trying to hunt for a bit of information, but fortunately you can see it right now. To actually get on top of the head, you do have to jump up. They could have let that bomb tick away. They knew they were pretty much fully at that point, but unfortunately, the main issue with that round is they limited themselves so much at the time. You saw how panicked they were. They get towards the A side, it's 10 seconds remaining. There's a smoke down, their own smoke. They see these get inside. That gives away some weapons, and Glaive doing work from the forklift as well. It's a really sloppy round for Dignitas, considering how well it went. They get towards middle, they get the control, and like I said, B storage was an option, but they, at the last minute, went for that highway split, and it was so limited in terms of the time left. Still, reset potential here from Astralis. That's an eco win, and a big one at that. And it's going to be Zipix pushing into A storage and find some form here. Takes down config. And Molotov, that's designed to actually take away his teammates. They have to fall back. They can't really assist him in that situation. 5-1 now, and the man advantage towards Astralis. An aggressive play at the start. Does give Astralis a lot to play with here. Glaive takes a lot of damage though, but it's Cajun B back on the AWP. Could easily find a pick here with a lot of time to play with.
Imagine it turns on that. I mean, we've seen ecos in these games, in this series alone already, that have defined so much, including Astralis. After losing that 1 versus 4 to config on the first map, they pulled one off on their own with 1 AK and Tech 9s to force by nonetheless, but to get them in overtime, it's been crazy. Another one there picked up. Urbino. Molotov'd off in the doorway. He's going to be forced back down the hall. The only chance he has to do anything on entrance is through the doorway, spamming at that angle in the site. And Glaive, he's going to wait behind the forklift. Good pick up on Tensky. Spots him coming through. Zipix will get the one to his left, so he just has to focus on Cajun B. He's the last alive, though, so even though he goes down, no big deal.
Well, the cracks are starting to show for Dignitas there once again. A bit of a misplay. They're fully committed to the A side of the map at this point, but they're running through the smoke without the flashbangs there. Normally you want to be Molotoving off the forklift, so that eradicates that possibility, but they're running through smokes. It's pretty simple pickups there. And Astralis do get round number 2. They haven't quite broken the money at Dignitas yet, but they're getting there. You can see it's 3 AKs now, a Tech 9 in the hands of MSL, Cajun B just with that UMP. So is this the chance for Astralis to come back to life? It's some sloppy rounds that cost Dignitas 2 in a row. Carrigan back on the AWP. He'll be going towards middle this time for an incendiary to stop the boost at the start of the round, and it will be a full-on set piece by the looks of things. They could fake this if they wanted to, but they're lining up their smokes towards the A side of the map, looking to get in nice and quick, but said, you can do these smokes at the start and try and rotate CT players over and quickly go back towards B. It's a pretty difficult maneuver to do. Let's see how they decide to go with this one.
Again, the smoke, same 3 that Dignitas throw. So 1 to cover quad, 1 to cover the top of forklift, and then if they wrap in the site, the 3rd, but you're dead right, it's a fake this time. That's masked on the fact that they've gone on it. So trying to do an exact same play, force an over rotation from Astralis. They haven't exactly done that though, because Kerrigan in mid, he's gonna come through vents late. Good pickup as they take down both Config and device finding Rubino. But Kerrigan goes down, that gives mid back to them. However, they're committed to this B site. And Zonic, he may fall. Device, that's the bigger kill, because he's still there. He could still foil the plans. Now it's a 2 versus 2. They have the B site, and Xyp9x late could, if the vents are blown out, and they are, catch off Cajun B. But he was able to take down 1 beforehand. And now it's Tensky. He clutched out the pistol round in B with bomb down. He's got to do it this time, 1 versus 1 against Xyp9x, and he holds the angle and the headshot.
The absolute master. Xyp9x read Tensky like a book there. He knows the default plant position is behind those standard boxes there on the bomb site. He's going to have to face at one point. He's going to have to get some information. He holds a tight angle there, rips his head off as he faces round. Big round for Astralis. That's 3 in a row now. The bomb does get planted. That does actually give Dignitas another buy here. It's $800 per player if you do get the bomb plant, regardless if you lose the round. So they wouldn't be able to ball without it, but they actually can. That A fake was interesting. Like I said, it was pretty obvious from the setup. That's what they're going to go for. They do the smokes all over the top. The idea is it takes a long time for those to go over the top. It's very telegraphed. And by the time they explode, and the time they bloom, I should say, it actually gives the CTs a chance to rotate over. They go for the B split, but wasn't quite enough there. And didn't really rotate everyone over. And Device waiting in the back. Gets the first kill, buys his team enough time. And Xyp9x coming up large in the clutch situation. Easy kill for Kerrigan. Config runs through the smoke there. You can see they actually do that smoke at the start of the round to block the incendiary. It's one of the fallen smokes, it's called. He showed it in a YouTube video. You bounce it off one of the roofs on the right, and it stops the actual incendiary on the top. That's a pretty simple kill, but MSL does neutralize things, taking down the AWP. 4 on 4 now. I'm
starting to enjoy the whole smoke Molotov counter and
it's a really weird one because it actually doesn't go on the roof at all. It lands on the steps of the end of A main, and it's really powerful. It's only really come into the meta the last couple of weeks, but regardless, we're going to the B sides.
And MSL trades Zonic as he gets Cajun B beforehand, so Zonic does get his 1 kill in this round. However, they are down 1 on the Astralis side. Xyp9x tries to go back through. It's Glaive instead out through the vents. Crossfire spray through the garage just for the hope's sake that Xyp9x would hit a loose shot. MSL's got 7 HP. They know Glaive's in this vent. Problem is that Tensky has to read it perfectly. He gets taken down by Xyp9x. Now they can pinch. And MSL again, 7 HP.
Yeah,
he has to play this perfectly.
Not known for these big clutches, snappy aim decisions, and low HP as well. I don't really fancy his chances here. Just a matter of time he gets 1, but that's well played by Astralis. Sticking together, making sure if 1 goes down, they've got the instant reply, and that's Xyp9x once again coming in good for the clutch. It's going to be now 4 rounds in a row from Astralis. But once again, the bomb does get planted. There is an opportunity to buy once again, as the loss bonus does start to rack up as well. We'll see how this works out as we go into round number 10. Buy does come in for Dignitas.
And Astralis are going, obviously, to buy as well, but their money starts to chisel a bit with the reinvestments. They've at least had some contest in these previous rounds. 1 player surviving in the last 2 forces out a lot of investment. So a round that Dignitas could steal away. With the 4 AKs, 1 Tech 9, and damage Astralis considerably. We have a 5-4 game on our hands. A comeback brewing for Astralis after a 5-0 start. Glaive and Xyp9x again. Good start on the A site. Walking in the open. It's Kerrigan to find MSL. Bomb dropped. Xyp9x has full control of that as Glaive once more finds a kill. He's had an excellent start to this game. He has had 9 kills, just 1 behind that of Xyp9x right now together. Well, now 2 behind. But they together have just locked down this A site as of late.
Pretty lackluster approach there.
High fives.
Going for the fast A attack doesn't really work out. Lockdown of every single crossfire on that side. Didn't really look too challenging for Astralis there. 5 in a row now, maximum loss bonus, but no bomb planted this time. So I think they do have to take a partial buy on the chin here. And they had got the bomb down once again. They could have bought into this one, but it's going to be Tech 9's armor, smoke grenades this time as well. I'd assume that this will be a full AXQ once again. Get all the smokes on the bomb site. Instead of faking, they'll probably commit with this one and actually try and get the bomb planted and just boost their chances going into the next round. But so far, it looks like maybe middle is the option. As they are sending 2 players towards B, the bomb is down towards the mid warehouse and just fitting it out with a default so far.
Kerrigan. And Config now boosted up. Kerrigan watching it. The AWP has 2 smokes in front of him. That's going to allow the access to vents. No Molotov to clear it out. They're just going to brawl in with these Tech 9s, and it's going to be successful to take down Zonic, who gets caught oddly in the open, trying to retreat back toward the tree. Kerrigan will get one on occasion, be late as he rotates to heaven. He's going to watch the cross back in, tries to hit the air flick on Detensky, who's going to plant default. But good play from Glaive. He rotates over. When Kerrigan rotates to heaven, Glaive immediately takes over mid, catches one off in the vents, and instead of committing to it this time, because that has been their access point in these retakes, they're going to all go towards CT and try and come in with force, so it's a change-up. And as you can see, Rubino, he's boosted up in vents looking for this, wondering where it is, but he does now have the information. They can turn back. The HP's the factor. MSL with only 8. Flash in, Glaive down. He's used that and his team to access. Good pickup from Xyp9x. It gives them just one more to find as Kerrigan found one on Tensky beforehand. Rubino, 2 HP. He's trying to find the angle, but that bomb is already being defused, and Xyp9x again will close it.
Got a little bit tight there, but Xyp9x, like you said, keeps closing out these rounds in the clutch situations. It was a 2 versus 1 this time. It was good play from Dignitas, to be fair. They had a nice slow round. Wall of smokes come out towards middle. Fast speed split. They catch Zonic out of position as well. That's the opening to the bomb side. They get it planted, and Kerrigan not hitting the shots there, but it comes together in the end. And there will be 6 rounds in a row for Astralis. Round number 12. Well, look, that's such a promising start for Dignitas. It's starting to fall apart now. This time, no occasion beat AWP. It's going to be 5 AKs. And no double AWP setup for Astralis yet. That's quite a common setup for the CTs, but they're more than happy to allow Kerrigan to find those picks every now and then. It's going to be 5 players towards the A site here. Maybe a full-on rush as they wait for that smoke to come in. I think there's a gap in that smoke, so actually find a pick. Yeah, it's quite a large one, but Kerrigan's taking advantage of it, trying to bait them into it, and that's exactly why.
Perfectly done.
So that smoke probably wasn't thrown in that manner, but you could see Dignitas, well, oh, there's a chance here. They might not realize, but Kerrigan playing it very nicely.
Kerrigan's going to play toward the MBK, the corner, the fence. It's become named that, in case you're wondering, by NBK himself, who often played that position. In fact, defined the role in many ways. So a man down for Dignitas as they group in middle. Rubino has bomb at B connector. So far, no commitment, and Glaive pushed up. Wall of smokes. Last time they walked to vents, but this time Glaive forward of them might be able to catch them off. He's switching his crosshair back and forth because he's not sure where to look first. He does read it, get the garage kill, and Xyp9x will hold because above the smokes he can see it. So Glaive's assessment of that situation was smart. The Molotov will flush device, but they don't even look to it. They throw a Molotov and then don't wait for the shuffle because they're forced to go on the site. They feel pressured. And the overreaction allows Zonic to close it out. 7-5 now for Astralis. 7 rounds in a row for them.
It seems as soon as they lose that first pick, the whole round falls apart for Dignitas. They're not really sure what to do when that happens to them. This time it was a pretty easy procedure for Kerrigan. Like I said, that gap in the smoke, I'll be interested to know whether he throws that intentionally to kind of bait them in or whether it's just a misthrown smoke he was taking advantage of. But he gets the first kill into MSL, who was trying to take advantage of it, and they go for the B split once again. The smoke's towards middle. That has given them map control before. But like you said, they throw the Molotov there and they're not even thinking about it. They're throwing the Molotov from almost like a mechanical process. They're not even thinking, what is the consequence of this? Once we throw it, do we try and kill this guy that's behind there? Or are we just trying to flash him out? In fact, it just flashes him out. It gives them opportunity to do a ton of damage, finds 1 kill, gets the information where the last 2 are as well. So it's a pretty horrible round from Dig overall. It's actually 7 rounds in a row for Dignitas, for Astralis to win. This is the tactical pause from Dig, obviously. They need to work out what the hell's going on. And we thought when they stepped into this server and they got 5-0, this was it. They're going to start controlling the money, but there's that eco win once again from Astralis. They brought them back to life, and it's going to be round number 13. The money isn't as strong as you'd have thought, but they have got 7K on Xyp9x, Kerrigan 6, and Glaive on 6 as well. But 7 rounds in a row, they have been quite tight. They haven't been like complete runovers every single time. Money for Dignitas, obviously back to that maximum loss bonus time and time again. They did get a plan down the round before as well, so there is money available. It's like, what, maybe 5K average on the team. So they can definitely get AWPs they wanted to, could get AKs, and we'll see what they decide to do.
The one thing I have to point out with Astralis in this situation with 2 stand-ins is an understanding of the situation and a respect for the situation. It seems like they are very much playing to win rather than for individual and going, this is our playbook, you know, this is what we're going to do. Instead, they're just saying, look, we have to win this round. Let's just, again, Zonic going in behind the firebox, doing what it takes. You got to wonder if that kind of discipline with Dupree coming back, because you see them kind of get careless at times and get overconfident at times. Is this something that, like, you know, maybe teams need to focus on more, is just being more disciplined even with their set 5?
They're obviously making very intellectual decisions right now. Even when they're like 4 or 5-0 down, they're happy to save the weapons in a 5-on-3 situations. A lot of teams will go for that and think, oh, we're so far behind, we need to go for this. But they're looking at the bigger picture. They know it's early stages in the game. They need to actually think, okay, we say these weapons won't ruin our economy, and then we can just find one, just get the ball rolling, we can get back into this game. That's exactly what's happened. They got that 1 round. There's a little bit of a chance with the eco, but it was that 1 AWP I think they saved that actually got them that round. But Now, Astralis playing a really solid game. Clutch is working in their favor as well, and Zipex is stepping up once again.
It's just interesting, because it seems like they're very much playing off of each other and focusing on the communication to make this work. And you have to wonder with dupreeh, again, no offense to dupreeh, amazing player. Obviously, they're a better composition with him in the lineup, but if that style of play is something they could benefit from.
That's all Zonic can really offer to the team, isn't it? It's giving them solid calls, trying to keep everything contained, but this is another fast B play coming in from Dignitas. Not really anything too tactical about it. That one smoke towards the entrance, and they have got control of checkers now. Smoke goes towards CT Spawn, but they have to run through it. Device gets the easy kill, and he'll be falling back to the bomb site now. Has got backup as well.
Smart to get up. That Molotov doesn't quite make it. You can throw it so it will spill over the edge and cover the lip of the site, force him out in the open, but it's Rubino and Config anyway to go inside of the site, find the kill. Zipex, he's desperate to find one through the smoke as they're down a man again with bomb planted. 4 versus 3 post plant. Dignitas make it better than that as Tensky gets there just as the flash blooms to spot Glaive. Leave it to Zip to find an opening, though, and Kerrigan jumps in on top. The shot from the off, straight down. He's found by Rubino, but that'll relay information. Zipex has one on either side. Who does he find first? And as he sits at hell, he has to peek the other player because he knows when he missed. That's the opportunity for Tensky to pop out. Good assessment. Unfortunately, not the kill. Dignitas win after the timeout.
So these deep tactical pushes aren't really working out with Dignitas. They've done all the set pieces. They tried the mid-control, all the splits. This time you said, well, let's keep it simple. Go back to basics here. 5 people going towards B. We'll smoke in front of the entrance there. Get control of checkers, and we'll swarm them together as a team. Try and utilize the talent we have available. And finally, they're starting to hit some shots now. After 7 rounds in a row, they do answer back, but it was quite a close round towards the end, 2 versus 1. And it's going to be them limited if they do lose this round. And Astralis a great chance to finish things off. They've actually gone for the double orb setup now as well. Zonic, the orb himself, like we said, 1 kill required each round. If he can just land 1 shot, that's enough to get his team into a very promising situation.
Zonic, first time we've seen him on an AWP. And he makes it work. MSL taken down, bomb dropped, flung forward of the smoke, reset potential, heavily a factor right now. As well for Dignitas, and they're slowed up on the mouth of the site. Glaive, he's gonna shut the front door as he takes Tensky and Config. Rubino finally finds him back, but that's only a slight access point considering he's low on HP. He's found by Zipex, and Zonic again. Maybe there's something in this AWP for him.
Well, it seems to be working. He gets 2 kills, and that's what they needed. He just needs to hold up like the turret, and then walk into his cross, and he finds 2 kills. So that's a nice little play. He's actually on 5 rate. Like we said, we don't expect him to light up the scoreboard at all, but if he can just find kills here and there to win them rounds, that's absolutely fine by me. 8-6 now, the final round of the first half. And like I said, if Astralis were to win that last one, it's a full loss bonus reset. And it means Dignitas are very limited going to this last one. They have pistols across the board, 4 Tech 9s, a Desert Eagle, and they have got utility to work with, along with head armor as well. So it's definitely not impossible, but it's very unlikely they can do anything with this. Back to the basics once again. Go towards B, smoke in front of the entrance, and see if it works out once for all. Here we go, Zonic.
He's flying now with this AWP. What is this? Zonic gets 3 kills to close it. Device with the other 2. I'm done. Just give me the up. Kerrigan might have put on a display.
Not the most spectacular kills.
Listen,
but it wins rounds.
I'm into it.
I'm saying it's fine.
Don't win this one.
It's like it was a pretty simple affair for him, but that's enough. 9-6 after going 5-0 down. Very impressive comeback from Astralis. Does Dignitas have a reply? We're going to find out after the break. Do not go anywhere.
Well, once again, it started off with a pistol round for Dignitas. This time, the opening pistol was not countered by an eco. It was 5 rounds for Dignitas, and still, they dropped the half 9-6. No team that has won a pistol round in a map, because both teams have won 2 pistol rounds in each ensuing map, have gone on to win it. It's an interesting proposition, isn't it, with Astralis in the lead?
Absolutely, and Dignitas, they had such a huge advantage there, 5-0, and just couldn't hold it together after they lost that first round. They kept losing first picks, and they're running out of time and getting in very panicky sort of situations. You can see them crumbling, and we've seen it throughout this series. They don't really know what to do once they're up against it. So Astralis have a great run of rounds. Dignitas did pick up 1 towards the end, but they got fully reset, and Astralis have a pretty commanding victory, considering the storyline of this match, Matt. This isn't just a Danish derby when it's quite close and we expect it to be. This is the coach playing. This is Glaive as a stand-in. This is pretty stellar stuff from them so far, and they're adapting well with Zonic. We talk about the roles they've given him, and it seems like they are playing that perfectly. He's not getting loads of kills, but they're putting him in positions where he can just get one, and with that AWP call at the end, that was a pretty nice play to actually just get him a confidence into himself, and he gets 3 kills just to finish things off. And yeah, I'm feeling confident for Astralis to go into this one. They get a pistol, but the thing is, we've seen that before. They've had 13-5 advantages, a huge advantage on both maps, and it's come very close to losing on a cobble. Didn't really work out for them on the second, but
the good news is they can't have a 13-5 on this because they've already got 6 on the Dignitas side. Interestingly enough, it was 5 kills over the last 2 rounds for Zonic. He sits on 8 total, so like you said, that'll get the confidence rolling, get him back into this. It's KGB that sits 6 and 14 right now on the other side.
Well then, 4 sets of armor and 1 smoke on Zonic. This could be a very similar tactic. 1 smoke towards highway and just go together. Hope for the best. 3 out towards the door, and it's going to be Carrigan to get that first kill. Takes that MSL, and they're closing the door here. They don't want to fully commit at this point. They've got the man advantage. Let's see where they handle this situation. I think the intention definitely was to go towards A. Obviously, that smoke goes down. But now they've got this to work with. It's going to change things up and stay a little bit more composed.
Bino does spot device. Quick shot his direction to try and do some damage, potentially hit a headshot, pull this back level. Xyp9x is waiting for the door. But look on the other side of it, on the mini-map, we've got Config and Tensky. So interestingly, not playing that retake on A, no smoke, they've got to wrap around. Xyp9x doesn't even consider it. This is the problem, it's a lineup, they've got 2, but they are canceled back, and swiftly so. That's important. Bomb gets dropped for a moment, they'll have to grab that from MBK. But Rubino slows back, holds up, and lets KGB get in a better position, because right now he has to duel off against Device. He has to win this duel before he can even get into full toward A. Does so very successfully, and now they have a chance. No kit, though.
Yeah, that was a huge kill. Like you said, no kit. They have to work together, both coming in from the same area as well. Zonic and Carrigan waiting on the site, who will strike first.
Tagged up though heavily, and Zonic takes down KGB. Rubino has to commit. Good headshot! Oh, Rubino gets 2! It's another pistol on another double headshot play.
Rubino has been absolutely amazing with the USP this tournament, and he delivers once more. 2 versus 1, and you see Astralis didn't really want to face that. They're kind of guessing he doesn't have the kit available, but Zonic, after his teammate goes down, tries to get the refract straight away, but what a snapshot that was. You can see Rubino just ready to go, locks onto his head right then, and takes it down. That's big. That's massive for Dignitas. That gets them back into it, and Astralis surely not going to force in this one. They probably want to go for their AKs on the third. You can see Dignitas kind of working out their buy right now. They're going to go for a heavy rifle buy. They're preparing themselves for the AK in the third man. No SMGs at all. They want to make sure they have the long range, keep 5 players alive now, and it will be difficult in the third against the AKs, but at least they have rifles instead of shotguns or SMGs, MP7s, that sort of thing. So this will be the full eco from Astralis. Objective 1, if we can get the bomb down somehow, amazing. I don't see it happening. Once again, get the bomb to Zonic. He can just be the lemming running in and trying to get that planted.
Glaive, a couple shots toward the smoke. So Dignitas again, both pistols on cash. Or if you're listening to Sponge's commentary, I'm sure it's cache.
Yeah, indeed.
It's KGB. He's going to fall back slightly out of that checker room. Config still aggressive toward the box. They are rotating over toward that B position now. And with damage significantly dealt toward Kerrigan on 12 HP. Xyp9x, 51. The overlay shows it. You don't need me to say so. Glaive was 38. He's gone. Config, this is actually quite clever. They don't even see him in this smoke, but he can't land a shot. They're going to push through. He gets overwhelmed. Good damage done on to everyone. Still, it's Device, the only one untouched, unscathed. But look at the lineup. Look at the damage done. It's KGB. He just has an easy shooting gallery.
Yeah, there's not really much they could have done there, right? Let's see if they can overwhelm him. They're all low HP, jumping across, no smoke or flashes to work with. So It was a pretty risky move for sure, but not really many options left. Device left as the last player. They do manage to get one, but KGB finding 4, and like I said, they're preparing for this round coming up. That one was a bit of a throwaway round, it didn't really matter. We know Astralis is going for AK-47s in this one, and it's going to be AKs across the board, of course, and they have got smokes and flashes to work with. Dignitas now trying to get the utility purchase up. That's a pretty clean round for them. Had it gone down to like 2 guns remaining, that would have been a problem. They kept 4 alive, and now kits, incendiary smokes, they've got a real chance to fight back here and tie things up at 9-9. Let's see what Astralis brings to the table.
Well, if they're going to bring anything at all, it's with the AKs on this aggressive buy that's going to keep them in the lead.
What the boost, though.
Yeah, this is good. We haven't seen a reverse boost all game. It looked like they were going to in the last half with Glaive, but it's KGB they put up. It's KGB that finds Zonic.
You have to say the terrorists normally have the advantage in that situation. If it was one of their stars waiting from the other side, probably would have ripped his head off, but it's a very quick shot from KGB. Nonetheless, 5-4 now, objective complete. We saw it on Mirage. Dignitas throwing away so many of these advantages because they kept pushing when they had players down as well. So hopefully the same mistakes won't be made here. That's the hard work done at this point, except for Astralis to recalibrate themselves and work out how to get back into the round.
Device has gotten aggressive towards B. So much as in terms of pushing forward and getting position, but look behind the box config there. He has to wait for this to present itself. He's got the position lined up, but he can't, as he sits with this obligation, peek into the site to find where Cajun's playing. And there it is, timing off, just snaps back. He does react in time, jumping though. He can't land in time to get the shot on a config traded by Kerrigan, but that still leaves them a man down on this execution. Smoke on tree, but Rubino in heaven. They've got a lineup. If Cajun can give the information, Rubino's gonna pop out at the right time. Exactly that, trades against Kerrigan, and it is just Glaive, 1 versus 3. Looking like potential 9-9, and money favoring Dignitas.
Yeah, big kill there from Convict. He's up to Glaive. Probably just wants to get the bomb down at this point. He's very unlikely he can win the round, and doesn't even fake out the defuse, fake out the plant there. Make any deeps there. Now the plant will come in. This boosts the economy going forward. Can he do anything with this?
Tries to go aggressive. I mean, what else can he do in that situation when 3 are running in? He knows he's going to be pushed from both sides.
You know exactly where he is, right? So as soon as they hit the plant down, that's like 3.5 seconds. He's taken out of the round, swarm him, and it was pretty easily dealt with at that point. But there it is, 9-9. A dangerous round there for Dignitas. Like we said, they prepared for it in the second. They got the Famases and 1 M4 out, made sure it was a clean round, and they had enough to work with to hold off Astralis there, and they went for their default. It was that nice counter boost as well. Occasion be at the start of the round, like we said, had it been anyone else, potentially could have got taken down, but he manages to get the kill on towards Zonic. And now 9-9, eco for Astralis. Not many options here, to be fair. No smokes purchased. Oh, there's one on Kerrigan now. Head armor on Device. P50 though, but I think at this point that's going to be stage loss bonus, and we go into number 19. So the money is definitely workable next round. We'll see what they can do with that. There's an all potential as well on Kerrigan.
Reverse boost once more. It's Cajun B, and well, assassination. Glaive caught in the act.
And he gets the incendiary down as well. That's the escape route. And first 2 kills found, and this round is pretty much over at this point. There's 2 smokes available. They'll smoke towards highway and quad and hope for the best here, but MSL should be able to deal with them. The smoke's got completely wrong. There's one on the left-hand side of main, so that's a bit of a blunder. Tensky will punish them for that. Zodek finds 1, but that's all he'll find. There's going to be 1 player going down for Dignitas, but they do take the lead now, Matt. For the first time since the first, well, I guess since the early stages of the first half, they got completely swarmed after that, but 10-9 now. And Kerrigan, like we said, all comes into his hand. He's got 15 for 11 right now. We're looking to get that first pick, but Cajun B picks up the AWP as well. I remind you, the winner of this game does make legendary status, and loser does go home.
That's absolutely true. Previously mentioned, first time that 2 challenging teams would make it out of a group at a major and take down 2 legends. CLG already gone. Gambit already through. But Astralis, Danes versus Dange, 2 stand-ins are putting up a hell of a fight. To be fair, Dignitas have allowed that in some respects, and Mirage, more specifically on their CT side, but right now, it's all to play for still. Dignitas up by 1, guns out for Astralis. Kerrigan on the AWP, and they're slowing it down. They're trying to allow him to work the pick. They've got him up on the boost. He's not peeking just yet. There's no reverse coming in this time.
Well, at this point, you can see Dignitas very passive hold here. They're not really showing too much towards middle. We've got Rubino on towards the highway box, and they've got Config in the vents as well. Just trying not to give Config, trying to give Kerrigan anything really to work with at this point. Device holding towards B storage. It's a full-on default right now. From what I can see, it will be Device holding B and maybe going for the backstep here as his teammates do set up for an A attack. MSL and MBK. And here comes the Molotov to slow them down a little bit more. Terra still have 3 smokes remaining, so Zipex is calling to slow things down, and this comes down to Device. I'm interested in what his play is. Did he go for the fake towards B, or does he come for the lurk and trying to get the rotation frags?
Cajun goes to an interesting position, top ticket booth on highway, to try and get a better angle of seeing the doorway. Does tag up Kerrigan, so both ops try and shoot each other down, and Kerrigan comes out worse for wear, but it is an AWP. Positioning is key. However, it's T-side, so he's going to be the one that has to force the issue with that low HP. And Glaive getting Rubino, though. Zipex finds another. They're inside B site. Device going to find Config. They rotate this back around and everything on A. Cajun still has to rotate over, and Tensky can't leave inside that smoke because he's sure there's someone waiting for him. And sure enough, Zipex is, but he's gotten away. However, away won't save him as he's 1 versus 4. And save is the name of the game at this point in time as well with this M4.
Pretty nice round here from Astralis. Looked like they had their hearts set on going towards that A-bomb, so with Device lurking towards B, like I said. He actually goes back to join them as well, but they saw the reaction. Once the smokes went down, they saw how much utility was used by the CTs at that point. They could hear all the incendiaries, the grenades coming in. They know they've put a lot of players toward that area. They quickly react, they fall back towards middle, get forward defense as well. It's finding kills as the rotating CTs come from highway, and Device opens at the B side. That's a really nice round from them. Very good mid-round calls. They're not relying heavily on the set pieces here. They're able to be dynamic. They're not saying, okay, we're doing this tactic this round, we're going to execute like this. They've got the caller actually working in such a efficient manner that he's actually able to read the game and say, okay, this hasn't worked out the way I wanted it to. We're actually going to change this up right away and go back to the other side. And they're hitting the shots as well. 10-10. And then will be Dignitas with a buy available, but 1 round will take that away from them. At the 4 in a row, Astralis fight back and carry them back on the AWP. Not such a similar story though for Dignitas. They're going to be 5 M4s this time. Kerrigan
Inside A main, alone, watching that smoke, making sure as he hugs the left wall that no one is going to push through. A lot of utility already deployed. Default's sure on mid-garage and A main, but at B, 2 smokes used at the mouth, and Config at checkers is going to be left alone now as Cajun B starts to rotate away. Now another smoke, so they've just got a Molotov and flashes left on this CT side, and we still have 1 minute and 15 to work with. And Config, these are the plays we talked about. This time it is 5-on-5, so he's trying to make the play rather than give it away, but he's getting aggressive in B main. Thankfully.
Want to be careful there.
Yeah, gets away, doesn't hit the first shot and instantly leaves.
Yeah, and he's lucky to get away with his life, absolutely, but information gathered at least after pushing through that smoke. That was a problem on Mirage for sure. 50 seconds remaining. Terrorists do have most of their utility remaining as well. They've got a double AWP set up on the T side, which is going to be testament to their kind of playstyle right now, just slowing things right down. Device trying to get his first pick and could do something with this. Big waiting towards checkers and Cajun's there as well, so it's kind of a bait and switch. His carry gets the first kill. It's up to Cajun to do something with this. Gets the first kill, looking to get more. Finds 2, but they know exactly where he is, but somehow gets the 3rd. This could be the round save, but up to the 2 versus 2 now. Device and Zipex do fight back.
And Zipex with 2 kills of his own is the reason that they are back in this. It's Tensky. After Cajun B gives them a chance that has to close this out, and Zipex finds 3 of his own. Another solid performance coming in from him, an accurate headshot, 21 kills total on now the 22nd round. So 1 in each so far for Zipex.
Cajun. You saw how they were basing it in. 2 players towards checker room there. You're so volatile towards those Molotovs that he didn't actually come in, so he's got lucky in that respect and baited in by his teammate Config. He managed to get 3 kills, but not enough. Very calm and composed play, like you said, from Zipex there, and they managed to win a very important round indeed that has reset Dignitas after quite a long time, and they're going to be full eco here. 11-10, USPs, Deagle, and 1CZ, that's it. And this should be Astralis taking the lead here in round number 22. Double AWP set up, so they won't be committed to anything too fast. It's going to be holding up and seeing whether players like Tensky will pushing into A main. They do spot him, but they can't land the shot just yet.
Clever wall from Sonic to try it. Thought the counts. Zipex looking to do the same at the doorway right now against these pistols. Tensky desperate for information on A as well with these pistols. He's using this slide position so he can call for this 4-man stack to get a setup. And Config, this is almost one of those times you want to see the Theorycraft smoke that Anders talked about thrown on top of the garage, where they walk in and he can just line them up because the pistol is going to need all the help it can get. And Tensky will play it dry. No smoke obviously available to do it, but how clever would that be if they did have it? as Kerrigan is going to take down MSL. The open vision so far picking them apart quite easily despite this stack. Just 2 more to find inside of the site itself, as Xyp9x will do exactly that with Tensky. Second man walks out, down goes Rubino. And it's going to be closed by him, so he's going to have a heck of a series overall, Xyp9x. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, did tremendous work on the first map, and continuing the form here on Cash as well. 12-10. That was the Felica from Dignitas. We did expect that to go in the favor of Astralis. So number 23, we'll see that Dignitas money isn't amazing still. They have 5 rifles, no kits as of yet, and Config does bring out a little bit of extra utility. This is the kind of round, once again, Matt, they need to go a little bit aggressive. We saw a Mirage working out for them, but some blunders with the man advantage being thrown away. I'll be interested to see what they try and do. Maybe push towards Squeaky Door, maybe a 3-man stack towards middle. Let's see what they decide to do. Maybe one of those boosts coming in again once more. We'll see how they decide to operate here. As Astralis still with that double orb setup. Got to be slowing things down once more. They're aware that the money's tight for the CTs. It's one of those maps you do like to go for the first pick. We saw it from Astralis, especially Xyp9x pushing in to that A main area.
Config, vent. Can easily be Molotoved, but they aren't looking to do so just yet, as Xyp9x again out toward doors, just going to wait. Wing the A side, as Device will wing off toward B at Toxic, so the other 3 will play off of those 2 and whatever they can manage to find. Minute 6 to work with. Sonic covering off A main, and Glaive the one to watch the counter boost this time. They haven't gone for that play. It has worked twice for them, but they haven't gone for it since. Perhaps thinking it's slightly been overused at this point in time. MSL in that cubby, they try to flash down in that direction. Watch this crossfire though, because if they go on him, that's the trigger, that's the ticket for Config to try and walk back out. That's why this Molotov right now, if they throw it, would be so huge for them. But Config can't find the kill. They now know he's there.
He had to land that shot straight away. That's why he decides to retreat here. Rubino needs to step up. Glaive's coming towards him. Glaive, you're dying by yourself again. There's no need for that whatsoever. But still, they do have a chance again towards the A side. It's going to be Tensky stepping up, though, finds another kill. Now it's a 3 versus 4 in favor of Dignitas.
1 HP left for Tensky as well after that affair. As Kerrigan now slips in. Again, he's able to go undetected and find an opening. However, with Sonic down, he's going to have to do more than that. Up close again, but watch quad. They haven't checked it. And Device has to go check 9. It's just T remaining. And he's found by Config. It's still just a 1-point game.
They had plenty of time to work with there. It obviously gets a little bit tight now, but Glaive, he tried to force the issue by himself a little bit too much. I prefer him. They know a player's in vents. Why doesn't he just hold towards that connector area and just have that position where he can give lots of information, watch the vent, watch highway, and make sure nothing can happen at that point. He runs round, gives the Rubino the easy flash, and, well, easy flash frag at that point, and it's a very big round for Dignitas to win. They were definitely up against it then. Didn't actually do anything too aggressive, just held back and wait for Astralis to commit. And that's the problem with that double orb setup there. Unless the picks come into your favor, you're almost running the clock down to a point where you're forced to do something unfavorable. They didn't find anything to start with. Now they go back to the single orb setup. That's more traditional. That's absolutely fine, but you can see how that limited them in round number 23. We go into this one though. Occasion be back on the orb himself. Rubino's on the Famas. Needs to be winning this round though. This will be another full reset after the investment into this one.
Run boost.
Remember we saw the last tournament, well, teams were actually just going for their traditional boost. That was really weird. You actually put yourself in so much danger in that position. This light position, I actually like this a lot. Gives you a little bit of a deeper view, but Device finds Config on the other side. That's actually towards B. I think it was in Device on B storage. It was. And Cajun, he's still got the orb, and there it is. Baited in once again. They like to play off each other in that checker room's position, and it's worked out once more.
Money tight on both sides right now, so a very big round late. Round 24, 12-11. Favor of Astralis. Kerrigan now starting to work in toward A main. Xyp9x has just been waiting. You'll have heard Tensky drop down. Doesn't try and open the door and catch him because he has no information as to where he's gone. But look at this flash in. 2 players toward A main. Now Xyp9x has to go. He has to catch them transitioning back in. Finds MSL, who was aware of it, but a better shot from Xyp9x will open it up. And Tensky, he knows he's trapped. He can't find a way back through. But at the same time, he's being pushed from A main, so he's dancing on the edge of danger. Smokes will save him. They fall away from it.
It was actually a really nice play from Dignitas there. You can see the time ticking away. Didn't have much information to work with. Flashing towards A main. They do get a kill from it as well. 3 versus 3. Cajun B's ready for them. And he lands the shot as well. Takes down the bomb. That's Sonic dropping. And now he's got time to actually call in for his teammates. They still have the cross with the bomb. And that's a shot I thought Cajun was going to survive just about. But I thought he was going to land that shot. And the bomb will be planted at this stage. But still a 3-on-2 in favor of Dignitas.
Glaive planting the bomb. Gives them a hope here. 1 kit. Tensky's got it. As a nade throws toward Heaven, does do damage onto Rubino, down to 47 now for him as Glaive tries to find the shot, and Xyp9x is just going to wait on this. He's going to bait them in. Good shot, better still, he gets 1. That's going to make the job easier for Xyp9x, who has good positioning on Tensky when he walks through. Low HP, Cajun, it's a nice shot. But Glaive's able to play off of that, and they'll go 13-11, and Dignitas desperate for cash right now.
Nice little setup there. You can see there were 3 versus 2, and Zipex waiting in his Glaive. He knows he has to go aggressive there. A lot of those situations you wouldn't want to face, but he has to get a kill. He has to get the aggro away from Zipex. He finds that first kill towards Heaven, and that sets him up so nicely. Zipex, they're not even going to look at him at that point. The only information they have is a play on the bomb site. Probably one towards Checkers as well, so they're going to have to come out, check the site first. Zipex sprays him down, and like we said, that's a really difficult round for Dignitas to swallow at this point. 13-11. We're getting to the real closing sectors of this game. It's the 3rd map of this best of 3. Loser goes home, and Carrigan opens things up. It's a full eco for Dignitas here, but this is almost guaranteed to be 14-11. Device with the P90, why not? It's not really worth it, like you said, you pointed out earlier. It's one of the only SMGs you only get $300 with, and it costs a lot more than a Mac 10 or an MP7, but still, it does do serious work, you know?
Exactly. At this point, get the round.
He'll be checking this tight left, yeah. Gifted the kill.
Another shot for Carrigan at mid, this time not as successful. Nearly does get it when Config jumps back up toward the spool. It's Glaive instead that'll start hunting, but he's been spotted. They try and fall back, he's been tagged, he's been dropped. I guess it's still a 4 versus 2, and Device is lurking around, but an AK down, and that would strengthen anything right now, but it's completely thwarted. Astralis pick up the round, 14-11, 2 stand-ins, and Astralis, yes, the heavy favorites in this group up until today are pulling this off.
Yep, this would be absolutely nuts, and Dignitas trying to prove themselves as a top team, lurking on that top 10, and this was the chance. If there was ever one opportunity, the coach playing as well. Similar storylines to what we saw from NIP at the previous major. The coach subbed in and takes them to the final 8 here. Could it happen once again? It'll be so gutting for Dignitas to drop this one. After they worked so hard to get to this major, it's going to be a UMP, 3 Famises and 1 M4. It's not looking likely, but still, always a chance. Someone needs to step up, though. It's going to be that counter boost coming in once again. I assume it's KGB getting up. Yes, it is. But this time it's Carrigan waiting for him, and he's got the orb. That's going to be much more successful than Zonic waiting on the other side.
Good position, good read. Desperate times call for desperate measures. That play worked twice, and Astralis they'll likely try and do something again to make an opening. Carrigan, perfect position to counter it out. As Zipex continues to spray through this doorway onto the A site. Won't catch anyone with any damage this time, but they're in a good position considering the guns. UMP config, FAMAS, Rubino, MSL.
Still plenty of time to work with here as well. We can see the CTs have 1 smoke remaining. Glaive coming in for that mid control. Needs to be careful. Don't be caught by yourself. Stick with the teammates. Don't need to run through smokes right now. Don't throw away this advantage you've actually gathered. Config, he's waiting in the back of the B site. He's only got the UMP in hand, but it looks like an A-sided attack coming in here.
And they tried to throw the wall of smoke to mask the fact that they were going to fake onto B and cause rotations, but they themselves never went through it and realized no one was there to spot it. So Rubino, he's still going back toward the A site. That doesn't really work out. They lose a man trying to go toward A, and now they've got to make up for this. Device is going to do exactly that. Through the B site, he's opened up the space. They can bring the bomb in. They've just got to watch vents on the way through. They won't have the information that mid's completely open, but they've checked that. And Rubino can try and cover them on the cross. No smokes. Throw the bomb. Smart. Does he know it? Can't do anything about it.
Oh, they throw across the bomb and still face the angle. Just hold tight at that point. Why is there facing McGlaive? He's trying to do what he can, and looks like it will be enough. MSL, 8 seconds remaining, still 2 to find.
And Device has to stick this. He's gotten to the corner. Device is going to... Oh, that X-ray. Looked like he was just going to walk back and give himself up. Good positioning. Catches out Glaive, catches him off. Device is low. 19 HP for him, 5 for Device. And he will win it. It's going to be map point, series point, and potential legendary status again for Astralis.
Device stepping up massively there. Just as they got locked out the A site, he lurks towards B. He goes down to 5 HP as well from the hands of the UMP. He gets the kill, and it's enough to get him towards the site. It was a nice idea throwing the bomb across. And for some reason, Zonic faced the angle. After doing that, why face? That is counterproductive, but still, they managed to come out on top there. Device delivers the goods. 15-11 now, 1 round. We'll see Astralis through to the final 8 here. Dignitas clutching at straws. Deagles 5-7s, and Rubino, the only one with a real weapon. He's got the UMP in hand. This should be it. 1 round will do it.
And Rubino getting close, trying to catch up. Glaive does spot, but in turn, Glaive is aware now and won't make the same movement, won't walk into the same opportunity, although this time he does. He goes right back to it, and Glaive dies once more early on. Kerrigan with AWP gets caught in the corner. Good leg shot, but can't close it, can't take down Rubino, but knows that he's hit him, then smartly swaps over to the Glock. That brings us back to fours. His device this time has a slightly different position in front of him because Cajun is up behind the box.
The only weapon dropped as well now. It's 4 pistols to keep the dream alive here for Dignitas. Device been so good at working this B storage area, but 2 players waiting from this time. Surely he's going to get dropped as soon as Config spots him.
Yep, he's baited him in. And Cajun B has never played that position, but that didn't have to go that far. Getting Config is actually a decent thing to happen in that situation.
That's absolutely fine. You're 100% right there. As soon as Config spotted him, he should be facing that point. He's seen he's actually looking towards him. He shouldn't have given away a kill there. That could actually be very important as we hit the dying sectors here. Is this enough? Can Astralis finish things off with 40 seconds to go?
They do get the AK from that, but an AK plus 1 more player would have been huge. They go out middle. Kerrigan throws bomb to Zippix. He's going to try and open this now with the AWP. Just waiting late smoke on Z connector. Up highway, they approach. MSL's waiting behind the forklift. Good position for him to be in this situation as Tensky can pull the aggro. Gets 1 shot. MSL pops out. That's better timing. And sitting duck right now is Zippix on this highway. But Cajun's actually rotated through A main, so there's no flank potential. He could try and find this kill. 8 seconds, though, is the problem. And as soon as he goes for the plant, MSL's going to wrap back around. He knows he has to stick it. And down goes Zippix. We've got another round on our hands yet.
Still alive for now. It was tight, it was very close indeed, but they managed to do what they can with the 5-7s. MSL finishing things off as the plant comes in. It's just Astralis didn't really have enough time to work with that. All coming out towards the highway, trying to stick as a unit and getting locked down by the crossfires. Money's not amazing for Astralis, but they want to keep applying the pressure here. Can't afford to take an eco. It's going to be Galil's, AKs. It's going to be a reasonable buy. It won't be poor by any stretch of the imagination. See, Kerrigan has got the AWP and no utility to work with, but 1 round will break them, so believe it or not, it's a UMP and 4 pistols that keeps Dignitas in this one. 3 rounds in a row to force overtime. Any chance they have of seeing it to the LANXESS arena.
Rubino starting it off well as Kerrigan falls. MSL again this time is going to try and take Device. Look at how much that changes everything. This is starting to be a mind game on Device. He checks that corner this time, smoke out, flash timing is perfect, and MSL catches him in the act. So big situation here because now they'll break the economy of Astralis. They'll be at 15-13, potentially 15-14. We could see another overtime situation with Astralis on map point again, similar when they were up at 14 rounds on Cobblestone. Wasn't quite map point in that situation, but again, a lead lost late.
Rubino's stepping up now. They need someone like him to be finding these kills at the start, and that's a huge, huge risk for him to take, facing that boost position at the start. And it's Kerrigan with the AWP, rips his head off. And it looks like Dignitas will be taking this round, but every kill is very important at this stage. You need to keep 5 players alive, start building that economy, and you still have 3 to go. Glaive now working towards checkers. Bomb still down in T-spawn. At this point, it's just a case of trying to find an opening. Anything to work with here. Does considerable damage to MSL, but gets the same in return. And they know exactly where it is, but on the other side, Zippix does find Cajun.
But how does Glaive get out of this situation? How does he even get back to his teammate? If the bomb's in T-spawn, that's a pick that's going to cause a rotation. They don't even really need to because Glaive, he's trapped in. The movement towards tree, though, from MSL could allow an escape. He's going to have to be brave, Glaive. He's just going to have to go for it. And as he does, Zippix realizes the situation and actually says, all right, let's just go there. This might actually work. Glaive gets MSL down. It's just one in sight to find. It's Config. Watch rotations from Rubino. He's at highway, or excuse me, heaven now. Zippix knows it's trying to find the headshot, but he can't do it, and his teammate's gone. 15-13, money lost on the Astralis side.
Yeah, that was it. That was the round that Dignitas needed to get them 1 step closer. The money has been broken, like you said. So Astralis, presumably, fully get this round. They want to close it out in regulation. Don't need to take the risk right now. Just go for the pistols. Try and get the bomb down at all costs. So maybe get some flashbangs, a couple of smokes here, but pressure is mounting. We said before, we hadn't seen a single overtime in this major until this series. Could we see 2 in 1 best-of-3? It's kind of disappointing statistic for Dignitas, right? Considering the storyline of this, they should be winning this at least 2-1, like pretty cleanly, right?
Well, the discipline from Astralis can't go unnoted.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They've been fantastic. They've adapted very well, but can Config step up there? Flash goes in. I think that actually gets him as well. He's stuck in towards checkers. He needs to step up, but Cajun helping him out.
The call comes through. Config nearly overlooking a player going beyond him, but this is a round well and truly cleaned up by Dignitas. So this is it. Round 30, guns on both sides. Astralis, mind you, what's the call going to be? They can't comfortably go for an AWP with full utility. They could go glass cannon, but it would have to be dropped over by Zippix to Kerrigan.
I don't think it's worth it at this point. Let's go for a standard, go to default, full execution, stay as a 5, have the utility to work that post-plant situation as well. The AWP hasn't been super effective since Dignitas started being a little bit more certain. I think we have a pause coming in as well.
Yeah, Dignitas used their pause after losing 7 rounds and being up 5-0 in the first half. This time it's Astralis that needs to make the call. They've bought an AK onto Device so far. The curious proposition is that Kerrigan's on 4750. He could actually bring up armor for himself, drop over a rifle, and Xyp9x could throw him an AWP, but it would mean that Xyp9x, he'd just barely be able to buy out armor.
That's why they take the pause right now. They still have it in their pocket. I would say right now, the AWP, it's been okay. It's been getting Kerrigan kills, but in this scenario, it'd be full glass cannon. They'd be limited in what they could do. Sure, it could find you that first big pick, but I think in terms of actually having that secure option to go towards a bomb site, I'd rather you stick as a unit, have stuff to work with them all, see what happens as this one gets to its crescendo map. It's round number 30. We've gone the full distance of this best of 3. All the maps have been incredibly exciting.
They've definitely been exciting. I mean, this series, we had no idea what to expect coming into it.
Hasn't been the prettiest of CS games, absolutely, but I don't think that matters. I think that
it's enthralling.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much on the line here. 2 Danish teams going at it. It's been an absolute brawl. And a lot of mistakes made for sure, but I've still enjoyed this series tremendously. There's Zonic right now. He is the coach. If you are unfamiliar with the storylines of this game so far, he does not play CS anymore. He hasn't actually played CSGO in any sort of form. He was a 1.6 legend, and he come over to train these guys and kind of coach them and give them the fundamentals they needed as a kind of CS head, as a kind of someone who can be controlled. But unfortunately, Dupree, health limitations meant he couldn't play today, and it's very unfortunate considering the circumstance. They went in this major just to make the top 8. They're not playing their full 5. Kiabi obviously not eligible to play for them in this event, so the objective was get top 8, then we can come back to the next major and just have our spot secured. Just to make things harder, you know, they lose one of their hardest fraggers on the team, Dupree, and they're having to bring in Zonic, who, to be fair, they've done very, very well indeed to get it this far. They're still in the lead right now. One more round will do it. Can they find it in this one? And
to be fair, Kierby can't play because he'd already started through the minor system with Dignitas, yeah, who now get Cajun B, who's been an excellent addition to them in some ways. It redefines their roles. So it all goes full circle in that sense. I mean, this is really an interesting story. But now it's judgment time, round 30. Aggression from Xyp9x just spraying into smoke, hoping to catch off anyone pushing through from the Dignitas side, but they're not going to take chances. Pressure is on them. This is going to be the most disciplined round they've played yet. It has to be.
This could be the A split coming in. You can see Glaive, he's ready to pounce. We have seen him try to go towards Highway by himself. He's with a teammate as well. That's going to be Device. So potential A split here. They'll try to get the mid control, take the presence away as his teammates do strike towards the A site.
Device with Glaive is down. Rubino's not looking. He's going to come back now, but he's going to get caught. That's the opening. Kerrigan this time through the door, not Xyp9x, so a change in play, but Cajun B, edge of the smoke, good find, and Glaive's not there, not close enough to refrag. Kerrigan's desperate to find one in the smoke. Instead, it's MSL, found by Xyp9x. It's a hero play, and Glaive will close it. Astralis, 2 status players, 2 stand-in players, keep their legendary status against what was Dignitas' best chance. That is heartbreaking for Dignitas, but my God, Astralis, a sigh of relief, it has to be. And hashtag do it for Dupree.
That's amazing. You couldn't write this stuff, Matt. You can see what it means as the owner of Astralis as well, joining, embracing Zonic. They can't believe that's happening. Cajun, the former member of this team, they thought they had this game tied up. It doesn't look like they can really believe it.
Config's like almost laughing about it, like, did that really just happen? And Frederick's even in tears. And fairness to Zonic, he did what he had to do.
Yeah,
he didn't do
enough. They win the series. It's enough.
Fancy, but that is exactly it. And that's the kind of thing I was talking about. Focus on the team goal rather than the individual plays, and it works out so well. Cajun B, I mean, coming from that team, he's got to understand the dynamics of this, but man, oh man, Astralis. Interesting thing, I'm just going to, not to open a can of worms. Zonic now has the legendary status. Does Dupree still have it? How does that work? How does the core rule work where you have to keep 3? It's interesting. Nonetheless, we're going to take a break. Astralis make it through. Dignitas are done here. Don't even know where to start. That's why we've got capable minds on the desk. We'll join them in a second.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne. Day 3 and the group stages are coming to a close today. Their first match of the day is done. It's a best of 3, and what a best of 3 it was. Can you summarise, Carrigan, what emotions you guys went through in that game?
We kind of knew that after we had the surgery yesterday that it's going to be hard, especially with the small map we had 3 days with Glaive. So we knew Cobblestone would be a pick. I was quite surprised how good we did on Cobblestone with the way we played. And I think it was very intense for the moment on. We had a good lead on Mirage, suddenly they came back. And the same happened on Cash. It felt like it was like a momentum game. Every time somebody got 5 rounds, then we got 7 rounds, then we got 3 rounds. It was like completely emotional match, especially also when it's the Danish fellows who beat DreamHack Malmö last time. So it was a very, very good match to play, and I haven't felt like this emotional for a long time.
Yeah, it's as you say, it's emotional. It's against your Danish friends. You've got a player from each team who've swapped the teams. You've got Dupree in hospital. You're playing with Zonic. He hasn't touched a keyboard and a mouse in I don't know how long, but other than E-League, obviously. So lots of stuff going on. Let's go back to the first map, though, because you did play well on Cobble, and I don't think people expected you to play quite as well as you did. And there was a chance you could have won that, apart from Config going crazy with the 1v4 towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I think people didn't know that when we took in Kirby, we decided just to 50% of all pracs would be Cobblestone, because we knew that in future people were gonna pick Cobblestone instantly against us. So that's something we went for, and in practice went good. And I think the NIB game, first time we ever played Cobblestone official with the lineup, was a very cold water in your face, because we in front 13-8 and basically just threw the match. And then we kept on playing against TSM and lost to TSM with that lineup. So I think Cobblestone was emotional for us again. But I feel like we can play it as a team, and I look forward for people to picking against us, because we have nothing to lose on that map. And today we just played with our hearts instead of playing with our, I don't know how to say it, but it felt just completely different, because it felt like the team were playing for Dupree, because we know how hard it hit him being in the hospital and how bad he felt about it. So I just felt like the whole team played for him, and that you can feel, and our reactions afterwards is something we didn't even do when we won tournament, so it was something very special.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that at the end. You all hugged, you all, almost close to tears, some of you, and it seemed like you won a tournament. It was like, wow, we've seen more emotion out of you now than we've seen before. Obviously a great relief to get through. Was that the main aim? Frederick told me this morning that no matter what happens, you have to make legendary status again, and then after that, anything else is a bonus. Do you see it that way, or do you still think that you can go as far?
I think proving today that we can play different maps, and even Cash is supposed to be a bad map for us. So I think when we go into the match tomorrow against Virtus Pro, we have basically nothing to lose, in my opinion. We are playing with 2 stand-ins at a tournament at the major where everybody is fully prepared for the tournament. So making top 8, that's what we expected from the beginning of with our group stage. But playing yesterday and having Dupree in hospital, the situation completely changed. So I'm just glad we did this for our fans, and especially for the whole Astralis family, and especially Dupree, who's basically staying at home and watching the game on the hospital. So big shout out to him, and I hope he enjoyed watching the game.
I'm sure he did. Congratulations. We'll see you again in the quarterfinals. Astralis have become legends once more. Let's find out what our NVIDIA expert desk made of that one.
They said it was their main aim, and a lot of us here at the desk and at home thought it wasn't possible, especially the absence of Dupree, but they manage it. Astralis retaining legendary status here at the major. It's a rather kind of romantic storyline, as Henry G would obviously describe it. Thorin, Yanko, Moses. I don't think Dignitas get a better shot than that, Duncan. That was their shot, wouldn't you say?
I mean, maybe if like Zipnix has to have his mum play the game or something, maybe they could like have an eye patch over one of Kerrigan's eyes in the game. Maybe that would even things up a bit. No, obviously this is ridiculous. I mean, you look at Dignitas. Dignitas earlier in the year were a dangerous team against top teams. They were a team that you knew they'd take a map. Maybe they could challenge you for the series. They were a team who have routine and tactics, and they know where they're going to play, and they have counters, and they have a good in-game leader, and they have these rising talents like Config. Obviously now they got Cage and B, who actually had a very good cash game. All the ingredients were there where on paper you said, yeah, they should be a Dignitas win if Dignitas is still a good team. But the reason why some of us on the desk went against them in the prediction is precisely this reason. Dignitas themselves haven't proven to be reliable recently. And now, it certainly wasn't the way everyone predicted Astralis would win. Like, we thought, okay, well, I guess the star players for Dignitas have to go, Astralis have to go absolutely crazy. Happened a bit in terms of Zipnix. He had really big performances. I think the shock for me was how well Carrigan played over the whole series, actually. His AWPing was one of the big factors for winning.
And that's, of course, a recent transition that they have made. Yanko, turning our attention to Cash, we haven't had a chance to address that one. The final map, how did it play out in your mind?
it was something I imagined and why I predicted Astralis to win, in a sense that Dignitas was up 5-0 and then they lose that round where Astralis was on an eco, only Kerrigan had the AWP saved, and from then on it was a lot of close rounds. 4 out of the 6 rounds Astralis wins consecutively are all defuses, all down to the very end, like this first initial round. This is where it all started, and it started by Dignitas going for a sketchy call, so to speak, you know, in an anti-eco round with 30 seconds left there in mid, and they decided to go for A, where you have to clear a lot of corners. Kerrigan with some amazing shots here, and that's when they start to get it rolling, and you can see how with each clutch, and when the camera switches to the players, you can see in the face of Dignitas' players that the pressure is slowly getting to them, because they know that they have, that they're losing rounds where they have the advantage that they're not supposed to lose. The passion from the Astralis players there, Moses, is not something we see every day from them.
No, I mean, it's just the conditions, everything that's piled up over the past 24 hours of the pre being out especially. I mean, it does kind of remind you of that NIP scenario that, you know, it is very much just get to legendary status. Like, please, God, get us into the next major. Don't put us through this qualifier that's going to have some crazy teams in it. That's going to be very, very strong next circuit. That's the thing. The star power for Astralis that really came out, especially in those situations. That's where the experience, you know, that round we just saw, that anti-eco that Dignitas lost when they're up 5-0. That was atrocious. Those are the mistakes that Astralis wasn't making in post-play. I think Dignitas is going to come back and look at this match, and specifically Cash, and just say the post-plants that they had were played so poorly. All those clutches they lost over towards the B bomb site, they even had man advantages in some of them. Very, very amateur mistakes to be making at this level. Even though we had in the interview there, like the manager of Astralis had told them, like, you know, no matter what, we have to make legendary status, and you might think the storyline of like, let's do this for dupreeh and all that, well, that might be pressure. I actually think Astralis looked like they played with no pressure. That's for me why they won so many of those rounds where they were actually on half buys and ecos, because people just played like YOLO style. They just ran in there, got in people's faces, just thought whatever, we'll just do whatever we can, and so they were able to break back the economy, get back in the games. Whereas what's funny is standard Astralis probably wouldn't do a lot of those things actually. They'd play it out safe, play by their aim. So we saw a totally different Astralis in this game.
Why does this style of play often find rewards? We know the NIP in Dubai. It does just seem to happen all the time, right? Where the teams are like, oh, we've got no chance.
Don't trigger Yanko. Don't trigger him.
I mean, it happens a lot, Yanko. I was actually directing this towards you.
I feel that the problem is that the teams, when they don't have any pressure on them, you know, they are much more relaxed and maybe not afraid to go. Sometimes it's not just, you know, an aggressive play is the best choice you can make, but teams are too afraid to do it because they're afraid of what happens if I'm wrong. What happens if this is actually a mistake? I went for an aggressive play, didn't pay out, I got punished, and I lost my team the round. You shouldn't think about the consequences. You should just do what you believe is the best move for your team to win the round at that point. And I have to point out Zipex. For me, he was the absolute MVP of this series on Cash, especially 30 frags. And in a lot of those situations in the first half, he was the player who was in those retake situations, who was the one player who was clutching. And towards the very end of the game, Device in that crucial 2v3 when he, you know, finds a way into the B bomb site, gets the entry kill, survives on around 10 HP, and then clutches the round in the end. I felt that was the deciding round of the entire game.
And with that all said and done, Group A is now done. That's going to be Astralis securing themselves that spot over in LANXESS Arena. Jason, we'll bring up the bracket. You can perhaps walk us through for exactly that journey we just take through this first group of 4. I mean, it was the battle of the Danes twice, right?
Yeah, that BO1 to start things out, and then coming back in this series, we said Dignitas has been a threat to them, but I mean here, just a little flat. I mean, obviously Astralis had to claw their way through it, but Dignitas really dropping the ball in a couple situations. The dismantling of CLG, you know, going out 0-2. Gambit was the impressive team though, and that's the big thing as well. When they faced Astralis almost didn't even have to deal with this whatsoever, but Gambit in that match just made them look a little bit silly. That's the weird thing is actually when we say Dignitas came out flat and made a lot of mistakes in this Cash match, Astralis did the same thing against Gambit and Dust 2.
Fortunately, the best of 3 did net them some success, and Astralis have managed to go against the odds and become a legend. So we're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. When we do come back, we've got a treat for you. We're going to be seeing Nip and Flip battle it out over 3. And before we do that, so I found this app. Yeah, I just came across this app, linked in the description and all that. But check it out, the Score Esports application is available to keep track of this major, and it enables you to get stats, news, articles, the whole shebang on your smartphone. You grab that, we'll take a break, and it will be NIP, the Swedes, versus Flipside to get to the major.
I knew about that ages ago.